Yes, 20,000. That's all it takes. You might think I'm crazy because in this market, you're probably asking yourself, where are you buying property for 20,000? Now, $20,000, guys, is all you need to get a down payment on a rental property in some markets in this country. I have clients right now that are making cash on cash returns that are mind-boggling. Even my investors that are using cash up front and not financing deals with rental property are making unbelievable returns that you can't see anywhere else. If you have $20,000 in your bank account or you have $20,000 in funds, I want you to comment right now. You do a wave, you do a comment me, I, because I want you guys to see that if you have $20,000 in cash, you can buy a rental property. I want to see how many of you there are out there that have this money that don't even know that you can buy your first rental property. So you guys are saying, oh, this is clickbait. This isn't true. I just clicked this video. I'm not going to learn anything. Well, guess what? You guys know on this channel, I'm always teaching. I'm always allowing you guys into my brain to see how I think. This video is no different, and I'll tell you why. I have clients right now that are financing rental properties that they're buying from between $60,000 and $75,000, okay? They're financing those properties. They're putting 20%, 25% down, okay? Think about it. If you put 25% down on a property that's worth $60,000, okay? You have a loan for $60,000. What's your down payment? Your down payment's gonna be 15 grand, right? Yeah, on 25%. 25% down on a $60,000 rental property, it's $15,000 down, okay? Not even 20,000. I'll give you an example. I have a client that went under contract yesterday. He's purchasing a property that is already cash flowing, Section 8. We've done our due diligence. It's a good purchase. He's putting down $14,000. The purchase price in the property was $57,000, currently cash flowing, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go in, we're gonna check to see if there's any deferred maintenance in that property. Deferred maintenance means maintenance that the current owner hasn't taken care of. The maintenance has been deferred. It's been pushed off. So we're gonna come into possession of that maintenance. Now, the maintenance isn't anything crazy. It's just needs some paint. It needs new sheetrock, okay? It needs some updates, some small patches on the roof. It needs some new interior doors. It needs a new security door. We're talking a couple $1,000 for maybe 5,000, tops. Still, it's gonna get this client in for under 60 grand, okay? Acquisition cost. Cash out of pocket, $14,000 for the down payment, roughly, plus another $5,000 in rehab cash. You have to spend that up front. $20,000. We're going to be right at $20,000 all in. And this client, the property that is cash flowing for $850 a month, Section 8. The mortgage on that, I don't know what it's going to be off the top of my head, but it's going to be somewhere between $390 and $440 a month. So you're looking at a net, minus maintenance, a net return on that of somewhere between $400 and $450 a month. It's pretty good. You're talking about, at the end of the year, maintenance aside, you're looking at a net of, say it's $450 for argument's sake, $4,500, you're looking at, $5,300 a month, a year. So to find your cash on cash return, you take that $5,300 profit net per year and divide it by our acquisition cost to find our cash on cash return. It's substantial. It's insane how high of a return that is. And those are real numbers, guys. Those are real numbers that I'm dealing with a client in my coaching program right now. Those are the numbers we're dealing with. Now, how does that relate to you? I hope you left your comment below. saying, yeah, I have 20,000, because I want you to see how many other people are in the same boat as you that might have this amount of money and don't even know they can do anything with it. All you guys see, because I see the same thing, this house went for 20% over the list. This house went for 15% over the asking price, right? You guys are living in cities where it is so hard to start out in real estate because everything's so expensive. And I tell people all the time, this first rental property for you is the most important one. It's going to dictate your future in real estate investing. If it goes well, you're going to buy more. If it goes poorly, you'll probably never invest in real estate again. So I understand the position you're in of why would I want to invest in my city where the acquisition cost for a rental property is between $300,000 and $500,000, and then if it doesn't go well, I'm going to be crushed, right, financially, because that's just the reality. You spend $500,000 on something, you don't really know what you're doing, and you're spending $500,000. You've never had a rental property before. Not only that, your return isn't even that good, because even on a $500,000 property, what are you getting for rent every single month? $2,000, $2,500? Return's not good. So what are we talking about here? Well, we're talking here about a possibility for first-time investors to get into rental property for the absolute lowest possible cost out of pocket, okay? Now, as you know, this is a cash price, meaning we're gonna put this $20,000 towards, as in form of a down payment, towards a purchase of a home between $60,000 and $80,000, okay? Around all in, right? Including rehab, you're talking $20,000 to $30,000 max, all in, including rehab. So, with the amount of people that have this money, you're not priced out of the market. You can do this. You're ready to go. This is attainable for you. This is not out of the question. This is how you get off the sidelines and get into the game. Now, in other videos, I've talked a lot about how hard it is to get financing on properties under $100,000. Trust me, I know more than anybody because I have called dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of lenders trying to find somebody that will lend on property under $100,000. Let's talk for a second on why lenders don't want to lend on properties under $100,000. How do banks make money? Banks make money by lending money, okay? How it works is the federal government loans money to banks. You guys hear all the time about the Fed hiking rates, okay? The federal government prints the money and loans it to the banks at, say, 2% or 3% or whatever it is, okay? Those numbers always change. That's what the Fed, the federal government, they're loaning money to the banks. The banks are then taking that money at 2%. We'll use 2% as an example. The banks take that money at 2%. Say they take, $1 billion at 2%. The bank takes their $1 billion and now they need to loan that money out to you, okay? So they take their $1 billion, they give this person $100,000, they literally use up that whole $1 billion, and then they charge 3%, okay? So the federal government gives it to the banks at 2%, the bank, your local lender, gives it to you at 3%. So now that bank, your local lender, right, that local credit union on the corner, is now making 1% profit, okay? That's how banks make all their money. It's not in the little fees they take from your accounts. It's not that. They make money by lending money. The money that they make on small loans is very small, okay? 3%, 4% on a $60,000 loan. They don't make any money. For those of you that have ever purchased a home and you look at your mortgage and you're sitting down at the closing table and you see, okay, the bank's giving me a $250,000 loan at 4%. Okay, my monthly payment's this. And then if you look at how much money you're actually paying over your 30-year mortgage, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm paying $400,000. Because that bank, that little interest payment over 30 years, you actually pay so much more. That's how banks make money. So, mathematics, the bigger that number is, the more the bank makes, okay? Now, banks that loan on small amounts of money don't make as much money. I don't know how much they'll make on a loan, a 30-year fixed rate loan over the course of 30 years on a property worth $65,000. They only might make 20, 30 grand, right? They instead loan that money out to someone on a $200,000 house or a $150,000 house. They might make $100,000 or $150,000, okay? With the same risk. So with similar risk, why would they want to loan on property that is worth $50,000 when they could loan at $250,000? As a matter of fact, rental property is even higher risk to lend on. Because, for example, say you have two homes, okay? You have the home you live in with your family, and then you have a rental property. Things go bad for you, all right? You can't find a seller. You need quick cash. You can't find a seller for your home or your rental property, okay? Which one are you gonna, if you only have enough money to pay one mortgage, which mortgage are you gonna pay? Of course, you're gonna keep the roof over your kid's head. You're gonna say, ugh, forget about that rental property. I'm gonna put that mortgage towards the property that I own. Of course you are. So, banks look at investment property as, okay, that's higher risk. Because if something goes wrong in this investor's life, this is gonna be the first thing that he neglects, okay? That's just a reality. So, what does this all get back to? This all gets back to the fact that finding a bank to lend on properties under $100,000 is really hard to do. In saying that, I have found some really, really good lenders, okay, who will lend on properties under $100,000. Now, don't ask me in the comments who they are. I keep them for my coaching clients, okay? I don't want them bogged down with a million people. I give you guys enough free information. Those lenders are for my clients. But the point is, they will lend on properties $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, and they will give normal people like you, like me, loans, okay, on stuff under $100,000. So you guys can get in the game. You guys can do this. All of a sudden, real estate investing isn't so out of reach. For my subscribers, you guys understand this is a complex industry, right? If you guys don't know what you're doing going in, you can be in some serious trouble. Being able to get in at $20,000 is unbelievable because it allows you to go in and not lose sleep at night. It allows you to get into this industry, get your feet wet, and you're not sweating it out because you just put every one of your assets that you've worked your whole life for on the line in a gamble to make sure that it goes well. So guys, what's my point of this video? My point is, there's no excuses. I don't want to hear them. You can get in the game with this much money. You can get in the game. I'm seeing it every single day. I have clients that are coming to me saying, Rep, I got 25,000 bucks. I have 30,000 bucks. What can we do? I say, we can do a heck of a whole lot. We'll see you